Reverend Jennifer Bailey has been named a Faith Leader to Watch. She is the Executive Director of Faith Matters Network and the co-founder of the People's Supper, which is a project that aims to repair the breach in our interpersonal relationships across political, ideological, and identity difference over shared meals. And I would just like to say I'd like to be invited to one of these meals. Okay, thanks, love you, bye. Welcome, Reverend Jennifer Bailey.
Hear these words from writer and activist Adrienne Marie Brown. Things are not getting worse. They are being uncovered. We must hold each other tight and continue to pull back the veil. Things are not getting worse. They're being uncovered. We must hold each other tight and continue to pull back the veil. Things are not getting worse. They are being uncovered. We must hold each other tight and continue to pull back the veil. I can still remember the feeling that October afternoon as I got a text message that made my heart sink. They're coming to Shelbyville. What should we do? The they was a group of white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and nationalists who had just 2 months before marched in Charlottesville, Virginia, devastating that community and resulting in the loss of one young woman's life. Heather Heyer, we say your name. Shelbyville is about an hour south of my house in Nashville, Tennessee. For me, this issue is personal. You see, as the granddaughter of a woman who fled the racial terrorism of the Jim Crow South, who was married to a Jewish man whose grandparents fled the horrors of the Holocaust. For me, these issues aren't hypothetical. When I think about the children that, God willing, I one day will birth into the world, they are the embodiment of what others hate. You see, I believe that we are living in apocalyptic times. Not the stuff of those blockbuster movies you watch where aliens descend down in New York City to destroy the world. But the Greek root of the word apocalypse means to uncover. And what's been uncovered over the past 3 years is how deeply sick our nation's soul has become. From Shelbyville to our southern border, where children are being separated from their parents, to the desecration of our sacred houses of worship in Pittsburgh and Charleston, South Carolina. But in those moments when I feel down and devastated, I remember the words of Coretta Scott King. She said, women, if this nation's soul is to be saved, you must become this nation's soul. And becoming this nation's soul, y'all, is not easy work. It requires that we be brave. My friend Mickey says that we have to be brave because for some of us, there is no such thing as a safe space. The way that we are embodied is a threat, no matter where we are or who we are. Bravery requires something radical. It requires a radical hope, an optimism that doesn't just see the world as it is, but begins to imagine the world as it could be. Bravery requires that we don't become cynical when we hear for the 5,000th time that someone has been killed because of the color of their skin. Bravery requires that we bear witness to the pain and not turn from it. Radical optimism requires that we build intergenerational relationships with those elders in our communities who have stories to tell, and those, what I call playground prophets, young children and women who see possibility where we only see barriers. And so, beloved, my charge to you today is to get brave, to dream again, to be a believer in radical hope, a hope that is rooted in our past and our present, but that's bold enough to say, not on my watch. The communities that we want to see, the communities that we want to be, are possible. That requires us paying attention to our moments of reckoning, holding some folks accountable for the violations that they've inflicted on our communities, and when people have done the work of being called to account for their actions, have shown themselves to actually have changed, figuring out how to create redemptive spaces that invite them back in. So, I have a job for y'all. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Y'all, I'm a preacher in the Black church tradition. You gotta talk back at me. Are you ready? Yes. This is real Black church to me. I'm inviting you to turn to your neighbor. And I want you to answer this one question. Where are you feeling optimistic in our politics right now? Where are you feeling optimistic? So I'm going to give you, let's say, a minute and a half. Turn to your neighbor and share. Vegan lifestyles. So in those dark moments where it seems impossible, I invite you to hold on to those places of hope, those places where you see optimism, because that is what's going to get us through and on to the other side. So thank you so much.